right? Now to make it more musical, I'm actually gonna let the snare drum pop through and gotta tell its own story, juxtaposed against those punches, right? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That hits. Doesn't that hit? Howdy, my fellow Americans beyond. This is Jake, eating an olive. You just heard a little piece of the newest track that we are dropping on Friday from the collaborative album that I'm creating with the painter Jennifer Mann, which the album is called Refractions Volume 1, and that song is called Fluorite, like the rock. And if you're just tuning in, this is a bit of an experimental project. Each of these songs are based off of a rock, and each song has a coinciding painting created by Jennifer. So it kind of creates this trifecta of artsy, gooey coolness. That being said, welcome back to In the Trenches, my new little crudely produced mini-series where I talk about these songs, talk about the decisions that I've made within these songs. And tonight in particular, the decisions I've made throughout the creation of the album as a whole and why I made those decisions. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. Okay, so let's start with color. Better yet, let's start with synesthesia. For those of you who don't know, synesthesia is the association of a color with something that comes from another sense. Maybe you smell something or you see something. You see a number and it to you it represents a certain color. Maybe the number 3 represents green. Who knows? Anyways, sounds. Sounds can represent a color in people's minds. I'm sure it probably happens to you. It happens to a lot of us. So I'm on the hunt for a green and purple color because that is the color of fluorite, right? So, to me, right off the bat, electric pianos tend to have that green and purple feel, but it's a fine line. Some of them are brown and yellow, like that to me is very yellow, right? What about this? Okay, my ears are hearing brown and a little bit of yellow on the top end, right? But let's see, if I go to this one. Ooh. Ooh. That is green and purple as ice, okay? Like, why is that green and purple? I don't know. There's got to be an explanation for it, right? Do you guys agree? I mean, that's what my ear has said. If you agree, go ahead and comment below. Okay, so now that we have our color palette figured out, the main riff, right? We have this. Timing-wise, rhythmically, it's like kind of complex. It's in 5/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't dance to that. Come on. The nature of these rocks and the kind of translation of what they mean is complex. There's a lot of complexities in these things, right? But to counterbalance that, the lead melody is very simple. It is preschool level simple. So what does that mean? Well, to me, the simplicity of that melody over top all of the complex stuff going on underneath is kind of like an analogy for life. Like it's like we get very caught up in the complexities and the subtleties of life that are very stressful and consuming. But if you can pull yourself out of that and kind of start to see life from a broader scope and a more subjective place, you start to see the simplicity and almost the perfection of how you view life based on everything that's led you to this point. And to me, the underlying theme of this record and the kind of underlying thread is to try to kind of bring you to that place of just being like, hey, we're up here. Like, things are good. You're good. And one last thing I wanted to touch on in this episode is the idea of reoccurring musical themes throughout a record. I've been using reoccurring themes in my albums since I was a teenager, and I think it really brings a cohesion to the project. An album is a snapshot of your life. It should be something you can look back on and feel a sense of nostalgia, or something your fans can look back on and they can reimagine a portion of their life that they have lived. Throughout that portion of your life, you're going to have all these waxes and wanes, i.e. songs, but there's also going to be reoccurring themes, i.e. themes. And by incorporating musical themes, you're going to give people something to anchor onto, to see it as a bigger story. I hope that you enjoy the song. Make sure you guys use your headphones on Friday, as for any artist that you love, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace and love.